Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Neil Eady, and my company is called Life IQ, where I help groups and individuals work, play, whoa, too far out, relate, and live intelligently. Now, the genesis of my company came over a decade ago. My wife and I were heading out to Colorado for a ski trip. And we were heading west on I-80 across Nebraska. Anyone been on that stretch? And keep in mind, this is before portable DVD players and iPads and iPods and all those kind of things. We had cell phones, but imagine this. All they did was call one another back then. So we had to find a way to kind of pass the time as we headed down this kind of boring stretch. And we stumbled upon a conversation talking about the favorite people in our lives. And as we started identifying college professors and high school coaches, family, friends, we grew animated as we told stories and we reminisced and we smiled. And after that conversation, I actually did make a list of all the favorite people in my life. In fact, I will tell them that often. You're one of my favorite people in the entire world. But I began to examine what is it about these individuals that makes them so special and unique. How did they gain such an influence in my life? And even though they've had success in a wide variety of areas, I started to identify some common characteristics. And so I began to put together some of the secrets of living intelligently. And we're going to talk about one of those secrets this morning. Now, let me ask you a question. How many people in your circle would you say are self-aware? What percentage of people in your circle are self-aware? 1%, 2%, 3%. Organizations that you're a part of, similar numbers? Now, they've done some studies on this, and they found in organizations it's about 10 to 15% of the people that they identify being self-aware. Now, we have a bias. We tend to think we're more self-aware maybe than we are ourselves, but typically that's where it ends up. So if this is the basics of self-awareness, we've got a lot of improvement to do. So how do we increase our self-awareness? Now, one of the ways is asking yourself lots and lots of questions in every area of life. Now, we should have figured this out maybe during our teenage years or maybe during our college years, but most of us haven't. So we need to ask ourselves a lot of different questions. Now, what I've done for you this morning is I've taken hundreds of different topics, hundreds of different questions, and I've narrowed them down. In fact, I've put them to rhyme, and we're going to do it in about 3 minutes. So if you answer all these questions, you're going to be self-aware, but you got to keep up because we're going to go kind of fast. All right? Are we ready? Do you attack the day or hit the snooze? Hem and haw or decisively choose? What makes you tick? What makes you sick? At the end of a lollipop, do you chomp or do you continue to lick? Are you quiet or loud, shy or proud? Do you love to go out or scared of a crowd? Do you live for the moment or do you plan ahead? Do you get a full 8 hours or believe you can sleep when you're dead? Lover of cats, lover of dogs, believer of fairy tales and kisser of frogs? Paper or plastic, table or booth, exquisite manners or occasionally uncouth? Own or rent, buy or sell, boxers or briefs or au naturel? Comes through in a clutch or occasionally chokes, find your own place or live with your folks. Is the glass half empty or half full? Have you bought into the system or you're tired of the bull? Felix or Oscar, Paula or Simon, do you mind if I keep on rhyming? Tire of shoes, maker of beds, brand new clothes or secondhand threads? Is life looking up or heading south? Do you think before you speak or do you put your foot in your mouth? What are your talents? What are your strengths? Do you give up easily or do you go to great lengths? Do you fight or flight? Do you stand firm or flee? Are you usually glum or full of glee? Are you 10 minutes early or 5 minutes late? Do you meet the deadline or do you procrastinate? Lover of the arts, fanatic of sports, the Green Bay Packers or, well, there's no other team, of course. Tranquil and mild, or do you live for the thrill? Best of the best or run of the mill? Caring and feeling, empathetic and kind, or do you have a systematic, analytical logical kind of mind? Are you laugh out loud funny or no sense of humor? What was that Arnold Schwarzenegger line? It's not a tumor. Thank you very much. Common and mundane or creative and brilliant? Are you easily discouraged or tenaciously resilient? Are you a star at work or among the rank and file? Do you normally slack off or do you go the extra mile? Do you have lots of friends, a system of support? Or are you very, very tall or very, very short? When you eat, do you rush through your meals or do you relax when you sup? Have you figured out what you want to be when you grow up? Do you throw things away or do you tend to hoard? Do you have enriching hobbies or are you easily bored? Do you stop and smell the roses? Or are you always in a hurry? Whatever may be. Or do you constantly worry? Are you always wanting more or are content with less? Do you prefer calm and predictable or do you thrive on stress? I'm nearing the end. I don't have much more. Just one request of you I implore. You've noticed my fluency, nary a pause. If you've enjoyed this rhyme, please give thunderous applause. Thank you very much. I do have another question for you, and this is going to be a little bit more to the point. Are you annoying? Are you annoying? I hate to ask that question, but anyone brave enough to say, yep, I'm annoying? Anyone sitting beside someone who is annoying? Okay, there. Now we're getting a few hands up there, but I had to break this to you. You are annoying, every last one of you. Oh, you are annoying. We all are, and we need to know that about ourselves. It's just the way human nature works. Now, in our egocentric ways, we believe that the whole world sees things exactly like we do. But the reality is we all have different personalities and different preferences. And if someone has a preference opposite than yours, you're naturally going to annoy them. There's extroverts and introverts. When I get on a plane, I want to sit down, I want to put my headphones on, I want to listen to a podcast, I want to read. I'm an introvert. If I sit down beside an extrovert, how do they want to pass the time? Well, they want to chit-chat away, and they think, what a great way to do that. And that's not wrong in and of itself. They're not meaning to be annoying to me. They just happen to be. But they also may see me as being rude and not very polite and just putting my headphones on and not wanting to talk. So you need to tackle that. So that's where self-awareness can help us out. There's also another component to it, being emotionally self-aware, understanding what emotions that you're feeling day to day and why you're feeling those emotions. What makes you happy? What makes you gleeful? When are you irritated or annoyed? And identifying the source of that. A couple of years ago, I had a conversation with a colleague in the morning, and I found myself in the afternoon. I was just off. I was short with my kids, and I was just not doing very well. And so I had to go back and trace my steps and go, what happened earlier in the day? Well, that phone call was a colleague asking me things that was kind of in my area of expertise, or I should have been on top of, but I wasn't. And the questions that she asked made me feel very insecure about myself because I didn't have the answers. Now, I was annoyed with her, saying, well, this isn't even her area. What's it her business? It has nothing to do with her. What's the big deal here? But I had to own that, going, that's not what's going on here. The way she made me feel, because I felt inadequate during that time, I had to own that piece of it as well. So there is an emotional piece that goes along with self-awareness. I have lots more secrets to share with you, but I'm running out of time. So if you would like to hear them, I would be happy to come back. But because I am out of time, I want to just say this. My name is Neil Eady. My company is Life IQ. My wish for you is to live intelligently. Thank you very much.